Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Welcome to another episode of Peak Performers Podcast. This is episode number 15. If Apple does it, I guess I should also. This week I received a notification on my iPhone, and it was about an update that Apple came out with for their iOS operating system. And it was update number 9.3.2. The update was necessary to resolve issues with regards to Bluetooth audio quality issues. Looking up dictionary definitions could fail. It prevents typing email addresses when using Japanese keyboard. Fortunately, I don't have that happen very often. When using the Alex voice system, it switches to another voice in the middle of a conversation. Update number 9.3.1 that came out a few months ago fixed the problem that Apple had with its phone with regards to unresponsive when tapping the Safari or other apps. This is the 9th major update since 2007 that Apple has implemented. They had system 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 9. And within 9 alone, they've updated or fixed things 9 times. That's right. This is the 9th upgrade of the 9th edition of their software. Why am I talking about a phone? Here's the reason. Apple continues to make updates to their operating system because it's not operating the way they want it to operate. So they keep coming up with additions, new versions, improvements upon the old version. Because let's face it, the iPhone, if it didn't have the operating system, wouldn't be anything. Who cares about the iPhone? What you care about is what the iPhone can do, and specifically what it can do for you. And that all comes down to the operating system. Some of you have been running the same software since you were 4 or 5 and have made no attempt whatsoever to upgrade your operating system. You've got the same beliefs, you've got the same values, you've got the same objectives, you've got the same goals. Every year I spend a solid 3 days at the beach working on my goals, my objectives, my values, and who I am and who I want to become in the following 12 months. And I make changes to my operating system. I tweak it. And I've got a damn good operating system. But it came as a result of years, one improvement after another, one improvement after another. Some stuff worked, some stuff didn't work. And then I learned from the masters. I learned from others that were getting the results that I wanted, and I modeled them. When I wasn't any good at time management, what did I do? I studied the systems. I studied the authors. I read the books. And then I spoke to friends of mine that were getting the results that I wanted. And they told me the details of what they were doing. And then all I have to do is just follow those details, follow those plans. So the iPhone right now, issues with the Bluetooth quality. How many of you don't have good listening skills? Your Bluetooth is picking up issues because you're not paying attention to what's going on around you. The iPhone's having trouble with its dictionary. You put an input. You say you want the definition of a meaning of this, and it's spitting out something different. How many of you in your lives with your operating system, whatever's coming in, the meaning that you're assigning that is not serving you? When is it time to do a software update for yourself? When the iPhone's using Alex, midway through the conversation, another voice will come in. How many of you with your loved ones are in conversations and halfway through that conversation, change voice, change tonality, change who you are, and are not showing up as the authentic person as you'd like to? When would now be a good time to update your operating system? Updating your operating system and your beliefs is really quite simple. But you've got to go through the process of establishing a vision of what you want your life to look like, what you want your business life, your financial life, your spiritual life, your relationship. Once you're really clear on what those visions look like, then you can put together an operating system that supports that. So if it's good enough for Apple to do, it's certainly good enough for me to do. And I do it all the time. In order for you to get what you want that you currently do not have, you have to become someone else. Now, what I mean by that is you need to grow. You need to become more. And in order to do that, your operating system needs to move with it. Delete those codes, those meanings that no longer serve you, and install an update. Install an operating system or beliefs, habits, rituals that are going to get you to where you want to go. Peak performers do this all the time. I was just having a conversation with a good friend of mine who is an absolute beast in business. And we sat down on Sunday and we were going through a project together. And he said, I'm going to get you my early morning success ritual. I've got it now, but I want to make some tweaks to it. He tweaked that thing 4 times over a 2-day period. Because every time he got it, he figured out something else that could make it a little bit better. Now, I'm not telling you to get stuck in the process of constantly refining. But you got to look at what's working, and when it's not working, make quick changes. You got to figure out what's not working, and when it's not, make the change, implement the upgrade. The purpose of this podcast is to bring you the tools, the tricks, the tips, the strategies, the technology, and the psychology that peak performers are using. And this is one of them. We are constantly figuring out how to do it quicker, more efficient, easier, and to multiply the results that we're already getting. Question of the day: what part of your operating system is not supporting you? Call to action: schedule 5 hours where you can be alone and you can look at the various components of your operating system, of your belief system, your vision, your values, what your lifetime goals are, and figure out what needs to change. Make sure you have a very clear objective of where you're going and an effective plan. Do not attempt to do this in front of your computer, in your home, unless you're completely alone. You want 5 hours where you have just to yourself to spend doing this. Thank you so much for listening today. If you're not already subscribed to the show, please go to iTunes, download the newest episodes. Please share this episode with friends, family, coworkers, or anyone that could benefit from upgrading their operating system. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Thor Conklin, our website, thorconklin.com, and feel free to send us an email at info@thorconklin. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do, and until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.